Do you got your marker under there somewhere?
Do you want to make like some crazy movement so you know specifically at what point in time in the video you need to stop it at?
Welcome back to the March Mayhem Tournament of Death and Destruction for 2023 in the year of our Lord. Today, we are watching Link from the Ocarina of Time versus Kassandra. Now, when Joe's argument comes up, he will allow to announce the loadout, which, let's introduce everyone. We've got Slow Joe Loris. We've got Alex, Sean, Andrew, Tango, Mr. Ryan, and Jordan, the Foxtrot Extraordinaire. And did I mention Slow Joe Loris? So, we're just going to roll into it here. Jordan, since Ryan got to call the coin toss in your last match, we'll let you call the starting coin toss here. Heads or tails, brother?
We're going to go tails again.
Tails never
fails.
fails.
Tails never fails.
It's heads! Fuck.
Tails has so far always failed.
I know.
Joe, would you like to start, or would you like to go second?
I'll go second.
Ooh, Jordan, he's putting you back on the spot.
I know.
On the timer whenever you start. Jordan, tell me why Kassandra would brutally murder Link. Like she...
Well, I'm starting out that Kassandra is a Spartan warrior who is descendant of King Leonidas of Sparta.
A descendant?
She's a descendant. She is the grandchild, I believe, of him. She at this point she's a ferocious warrior, very skilled, very adept at multiple kinds of weaponry. At this point I'm giving her the loadout of she has the staff of Hermes Trismegistus, which effectively renders her immortal, and she has survived for about 4,000 years at this point. So she has lived through many things.
Sorry, Joe.
She is able to see through her eagle companion. Icaros is his name. She wields the top half of the spear of King Leonidas. That itself is from an alien race. That also can allow her to become invisible for brief periods of time. She is very durable, able to defeat her own brother, who also is a descendant. Has defeated many monsters like the Minotaur and Medusa and Gorgons and all that kind of stuff. She is very agile and adept at free running, able to escape places quickly. She is also skilled with the bow and arrow, so she has significant long range weaponry, as well as able to get up close and deal high damage in close combat. I would say she's also very, very smart and intelligent. She's able to figure out identities of a hidden cult that was out to actively kill her, as well as defeat many mercenaries, also trying to kill her. So I would say she is a very highly trained individual, able to adapt to any kind of situation possible. And I yield my time. I didn't give her any specific armor. But I think it's kind of given that she has whatever best armor she has available to her.
Fair enough. That is fair. Joe, when you're ready.
Before we officially start, well, no, I'll include it my time.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. First, I want to say that the timeline for Kassandra is cattywampus because if she's a descendant of Leonidas, she's not 4,000 years old because Leonidas wasn't 4,000 years ago. But we'll put that aside.
I'm clarify real quick. She lives in the present time as well, so she's at that point in the future.
The Assassin's Creed game for the future, the present parts of the future of us.
Oh,
It's complicated.
all right, then never mind.
Continue.
I'm cool. All right.
You heard
It
it.
is still a cattywampus timeline.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Now start.
My chosen loadout for Link is going to be the red Goron's tunic, his regular boots, his master sword, and just for fun, his mirror shield.
Ooh.
I don't think it makes that much difference.
It does.
And then for weapons, he's going to have his ice arrows, his hook shot, and well, I'm
Hook shot or long shot?
going to say long shot. I was treating it as the same. I'm going to say the long shot. It's the same but better.
Mm-hmm.
And his bombs.
Ooh.
So Link also has experience defeating various, I'm calling them mythical adjacent or mythical type creatures, monsters, superpowered individuals, that sort of thing. He's also experienced at solving puzzles and exploring ruins and following clues, piecing things together across the whole world, and acquiring himself new items, new skills. He has experience defeating world-ending creatures in Ganon. He's fit as hell. He's experienced with all of his tools. He's fought people who have a Kassandra-like
Technically,
thing in Ocarina of Time.
the Gerudo people, they're very agile and very...
Yeah,
They capture them very easily.
yeah, they're not. They're the closest, but they're not quite the thing. So also, there's a group. She's just one.
Will they take...
I'll
explain.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, I think I think this loadout helps nerf the generic assassin skill set. He can freeze her in place with ice arrows. He can hook shot her to pull her towards him. He can hook shot himself away. I say hook shot. I'm using hook shot, long shot interchangeably. He can drop bombs as a little surprise for her. He can throw the bombs at her directly. And of course, he's got a shield to block whatever she can throw at him. Even the mirror shield, it'll block whatever magical or supernatural type things she can throw at him. And the Master Sword itself is a little bit magical, which can, it is inherently magical, and it's defeated immortal type creatures in Ganon before. So the sword will cut through some magic, I believe. Judges, correct me if I'm wrong.
Sword of Evil's Bane.
He can take a beating, man. He's got full hearts. He's fairly durable. He's not going to be one shot. And he's also got his classic spin attack, so he's a little bit hard to get the jump on. Yeah, I'll yield for.
Yes, too much power.
He does not have this power when he's competing.
So, well, I'm not competing right now. It's rebuttal chance. Rebuttal.
Oh yeah. So let Jordan lead in with his rebuttal.
Yes. I have before I lead off, I have a question. How old is Link?
Oh shit. I don't exactly know. He's like a late teenager.
If we're talking
Older Link, he's 17.
I was going to say it's 7 years in the future, and he's 10 at the beginning. So
Okay.
17.
Yeah.
So, but he's essentially a child. He's not an adult.
Legally, yes, he is a child.
Yes.
I don't know what Japanese culture says on 17 as the age, but
But not an adult. Okay.
I mean,
So I'd like to clarify my age statement. Kassandra is 2,476 years old.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mistakenly said 4,000. Joe, you pointed out that Link has a shield. Kassandra is very skilled at fighting people with shields and breaking said shield. Because if you consider that the timeline, that is Greek warriors who almost exclusively use shields to defend from arrows and blows and stuff. Using her ability to dual wield weapons, she's able to break shields and throw them away.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're focusing too much on the assassin aspect because of the title of the game. She is not really an assassin because she is basically a proto assassin, and she is more of a Spartan warrior. So she is up close in front, personal, knocking your ass, you're dead type of thing. She is very superhuman strength, as she could stagger even the Nemean lion and a Cyclops. She can also regenerate a little bit of health, so I think any kind of blows Link could put on Kassandra would be, by the time it was able to do more, it would be healed and gone. So I feel like any kind of
time is up, Joe.
I mean, I want to push back on the shield thing a little bit. The mirror shield is not like a classic, Spartan hoplite shield. It's like entirely ceramic or metal or some type of unspecified, very hard material. A Spartan shield would be something thick wood coated in a layer of bronze or something. It's going to be easier to get around. Link has experience fighting plenty of skilled people one-on-one. He's fought, I wish I could remember the names, but he's fought like the dead Garuda warriors. He's fought the he fought the skeleton guys one-on-one. He's fought all kinds of bosses one-on-one. He's fought himself one-on-one, which is a very similar loadout, and he's won. He's fought Ganon one-on-one, who has similar abilities to Kassandra, but he's bigger and a little bit more magical, it sounds like. I don't know, yeah, he's got less age, but arguably sufficient experience, or it's not really age that matters, it's experience. I don't know that Kassandra's been fighting people one-on-one continuously for 2,000 years. That got a little old after...
the first 1,000.
After the first couple hundred years or so. Yeah, I'm almost out of time, so I'll let it go.
I have one question. What is a long shot? It is...
Yeah, does anybody know this?
I can explain. So,
it's
the long shot is a grappling hook-esque weapon that specifically the end is pointed like a spear, and it hooks into something and then pulls. So either it pulls the object if it's not stable, or it pulls the user.
So scorpion. Yes,
but
it's a scorpion. It's a chain.
More importantly, the long shot is actually 2.1 times larger and longer than the hook shot.
Okay.
It's supposed to be just double the length, but someone in game actually measured it, and it's like slightly over 2, but it's not significant enough. So it's about 2.1 times. So roughly, if I remember the distance right, we're looking at like 60-ish feet for the long shot, whereas it's about 30 feet for the hook shot. Give or take.
I was going to say, my question, does Kassandra only use weapons, or does she do hand-to-hand combat?
She can do hand-to-hand combat. She she's very skilled at hand-to-hand combat.
Okay.
What weapons simply enhance her abilities.
If I can,
You're not a judge. Yeah. I have a question, and it's also for Jordan. So, when you went through her loadout, you mentioned the Staff of Immortality and this alien helmet thing that gives her brief invisibility, and obviously her seeing eye eagle Icarus. What weapon is she carrying? Because I have played Assassin's Creed, and I know they typically carry one weapon. Is the Staff of Immortality her weapon she's holding and using, or is she using something else?
I would say for this particular purpose, she is using the staff, which is in-game a spear.
Okay, then that's what I wanted to specify. Okay.
can I counter one of his answers?
In a minute.
I'm just asking.
Ryan is another judge on this.
Can I have a question for I have a question for each, actually. I actually have two questions for you, Jordan, and then one for Joe. I guess you said that the spear is the loadout, not the Leonidas spear. Or the staff is the loadout, not the Leonidas spear.
The Leonidas spear is not really it's technically a spear. It's like a sword. It's short. That's this right here.
Okay.
So it's like a spearhead, but it's made of Isu, which is like the precursor god's metal. So it's very strong.
Is the staff considered evil in any way?
Depends on your point of view.
I need some explanation.
Because the staff contains the soul of an Isu god whose goal in life is to eventually come back to life with her body. However, Kassandra is a carrier for the spirit to get to a other person. So at this point in time, the staff bears no ill will toward Kassandra.
Yeah, but is the staff itself considered evil?
Is the god inside of it evil?
Yeah.
No.
Like, what is the purpose for it?
The god inside of it is actually a good god. It would be considered one of the nice ones.
I was going to say that was a good question anyways. Honestly, but it is a very important question. Yeah. It depends on your ability.
And then, Joe, my question for you is, while Link has fought a lot of monsters, he hasn't fought a lot of monsters who use weapons specifically. How do you think Link will deal with somebody who's very, very, very agile with that?
I mean, I think he's going to deal with it well because, one, he's fought a shadow version of himself, which does use weapons, like his same type of weapon, shield, sword, bow type of things, and he's come out of that. He does fight some creatures like this skeleton. I think there's a couple skeleton guys who use swords against him that he has to avoid. It's been a while since I've played the games. I'll let the judges.
I played it recently, if I can interject.
Yes.
As I mentioned, the Gerudo, you were only talking about the guards, but when you go to free all of the carpenters, you fight one Gerudo warrior in hand-to-hand,
Okay, yeah.
and they are very difficult. If they hit you in-game, if they get what is coded in them as a critical hit, it instantly makes you fail it. So it's like so they are very good warriors.
Does it kill you, or does it just fail?
No, it fails the task. You have to go. You get put in prison. So it's basically they knock you out. So they're powerful. So he has fought those. The Iron Knuckle, which is an enemy from the Spirit Temple, which is the Gerudo one. It's the Gerudos that have been corrupted and put in these giant suits of armor.
Yeah.
So
they
have. He has fought them.
And they have armor and they have shields. Swords.
Yeah.
Oh, they have swords.
They have swords, and well, actually, the Iron Knuckle is a giant fucking axe. But I'm trying to think real quickly. Phantom Ganon, technically, which is a spiritual puppet of Ganon. Volvagia is just a dragon, but I mean he drops rocks. Yeah, I would say really the big human-esque ones would be Ganondorf himself, Phantom Ganon, which uses more magic, but it's still technically Ganon. And then for sure the Gerudo and the Iron Knuckles.
Now,
Okay.
I do want to also inject one thing, and judges tell me if it's not acceptable. This Link, or at least as far as I can tell, this Link also appears in the game Soul Calibur 2. And there he has a little bit more hand-to-hand combat stuff. He'll do a grappling technique with just his hands, where he grabs somebody by the arm, twists it, and throws it.
I would
I don't know if
just
that
because it's not
counts.
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, you specifically said Ocarina of Time.
You could say Smash 64 because that is also Ocarina of Time as well as Melee. Like they both use that very same link. It's a gray area.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys to decide.
Yeah.
Which one is no, since we're talking about specifically in that game.
Which also leads me to my question though for Joe about Link.
Yes.
So this is a very difficult question to ask. Where is Link in his journey for this particular? Because here's the issue. If he has defeated Ganondorf, it is not adult Link, which changes everything. Because when he defeats Ganondorf, Zelda sends him back in time to live out as a child.
Yeah.
But if it's before his battle with Ganondorf, he has all the same feats and he's at his prime. The only difference is he has not fought Ganon.
Oh, man.
That's why I say that makes a difference.
That's a really good
Because one of the arguments was he's fought Ganondorf.
Well,
But if he has...
So he's...
That's
he's
fine.
So before he fights the final Ganondorf, he does fight Shadow Ganondorf, who's not the same, but he is another humanoid type.
Right,
creature.
which is why I mentioned that's the Forest Temple fight.
Yeah.
Going before Ganondorf?
I think I have to, because this whole time I've been picturing him as adult Link.
Okay.
So I'm going to say he's adult Link who's done everything but defeat Ganon.
Which will actually change one kind of minor thing, and that'll be the fact that he does have super strength because he wears the Gerudo gauntlets.
Yeah, I forgot to mention.
They're
that.
not.
I won't. That
Yeah, they're not equipment, but they're equipment. They're a story. That's why I asked where in his journey. So if it's right before Ganondorf, he would have those. He would have.
Yeah, so that gives him like super environment strength.
Yeah, he can pick
stuff,
up. Yeah,
but it doesn't really influence his combat.
No, but it would give him lifting ability. Okay.
Ryan, Sean, do either of you have any more questions?
Nope.
I'm good.
All right. Since Sean voted first last time, I'll go first this time. Joe, coming into this battle, I wanted to vote for Link.
Uh-oh.
I gotta vote for Kassandra, though. The Spartan lineage alone, I think, gives her a huge advantage. All of her equipment and experience just add on top of that. With Link being so young and having different types of experience in battle, I think Cassandra just overwhelms him, and the long shot kind of did Link it for me.
Awesome.
If he fires that and he hits her, he's just bringing her closer to him, and she's gonna execute him. If he misses, and her agility is on par with what Jordan says, she can grab on, ride it back. The last thing Link wants is to get close to this lady. And
Okay, I would quibble with you on that, but we'll pass this.
There's no rebuttal here, Joe.
Yeah. I think Cassandra out battles him in every class, and I don't think Link would have an answer for Cassandra at this point. So I gotta go Cassandra.
The judge has spoken. Who's next?
I can go next. I'm going to say I'm going to vote for Kassandra, and it's for one reason, and that is if the staff isn't evil and her main powers come from the staff, I don't think Link has ever defeated anybody who isn't evil. His sword is the sword of evil's bane. It doesn't necessarily, we don't know what kind of powers it would have against something that is not evil. Like, would it have the same, like, kind of strength would it
Or
be able to
least-
hurt them?
Yeah.
I don't know. So for that reason, I'm going to have to go Kassandra.
That's a very interesting
Alright.
point.
That's fair. I guess I'll go. And so when Jordan made his initial argument for Kassandra, the moment I hit Staff of Immortality, I'm like, yeah, she's the winner here. However, one thing that came up and another thing that I kind of, in asking where in the journey Link is, has set me up with another piece. And the first thing is, at this point, if Link has done everything in the game, he has 4 bottles, and Link, worth his weight in salt, would make sure at least one of them has a fairy in it. And a fairy does not need to be equipped to activate. If he is downed and killed, a fairy in his inventory will immediately heal him back up. So, technically speaking, he's got at least 4 chances of reviving if killed. So that, to me, that's something that it's not part of a loadout, but it's something that, given where he's at in his journey, he would realistically have and be prepared for. But truly, the one thing that I even kind of forgot of, and I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fan, is the Dark Link fight. When you brought up Dark Link, that to me was the tipping point. Because the whole thing with Dark Link is that it is his inner self. It is him in every way. It knows all of his moves, and he was able to defeat himself. Which, yes, not the question has come up of, has Link ever fought a non-evil counterpart? Dark Link is not inherently evil in Ocarina of Time. It's more of a trial of the Water Temple to fight your inner self. So I would argue that it's not, even though it's Dark Link because that was from Legend of Zelda 2 Link's Adventure, it's not really an evil version. It's just his shadow self, which does not inherently mean evil. So I will say that he's fought someone of equal power as him. So at least that's where I'm thinking. But there's one other thing I want to say about Link and why I was voting for him. Oh, the fact that Link, as a 10-year-old kid, fought a giant demon spider, a giant fire-breathing ancient lizard dinosaur thing that literally poops out bombs. Like, come on, they blow up when they die. Like, that's pretty impressive. And essentially a giant parasite within the stomach of a giant fish. He managed to do that as a child. And the only reason that he had to do the time-traveling thing is because at age 10, he was too young to wield the Master Sword, so he was put in stasis and sleep for 7 years until he would be old enough to manage the blade. So I'm saying his experience, while yes, he's younger, I say it's not really a detriment to him, just simply because he has fought as a child. Whereas Kassandra, yes, she's old, and that's because she's been doing it for centuries and has lived for centuries. Link has not lived for centuries. He has just become an adept warrior from a young age.
You're saying his skill per year density is higher.
Yes. That's my piece.
That just changed my perspective because I just realized that Link in Ocarina of Time is just a ripoff of Lion-O.
Wow.
So
Don't die, Alex.
I wasn't ready for that.
No.
That might be the first time a judge has changed in the judge's mind, not the arguer.
Oh no, it actually didn't change my mind.
We'll see where this goes.
So a lot of times, and we kept bringing this up, that Link was able to defeat himself. But I mean, if you're a loser, is that really a win? So
that is actually
so
ouch. Link needs some burner.
the thing that really turned my opinion is the question I asked about the hand-to-hand combat. With both of these characters having weapons, anybody will tell you that, if you're in a sword fight with someone, okay, the person that can throw a punch while blocking is going to have an immediate advantage to someone that's only fighting with a sword. So, the fact that Kassandra is a is a Spartan. We know that she's going to be punching, kicking. She's not held to just her weapons, and that's going to give her an inherent advantage as soon as she closes that gap. So to me, Kassandra is going to be the better fighter in this situation, regardless of what Link's loadout is, because she also has an impressive array of weaponry. So I am also giving this one to Kassandra.
Kassandra moves on to the next round, 3-1.
Let me ask you guys if
Her Spartan background really gave her a huge edge in my mind.
let me ask you guys if I had emphasized the ice arrows and the freezing ability more, would that have changed anybody's decision? Like freeze her in place, go up and hit her with the sword.
Yeah, because in my mind, you would still have to hit her with the arrow.
And I don't think she's.
You don't think you
with
would
the
be
arrow.
able to?
No, because she's going to be moving at that point. Once she sees the bow come out, she's not going to sit still.
Hit people. Move.
Yeah,
But to be
I
fair,
think it would have made it closer for me, but I don't think it would have changed my opinion.
yeah, part of it is
For
that
what it's worth.
the magical arrows that Link has, there is like a second or two where it charges up. You
That's
can't
true.
just- So there is a delay in that. So really, not.
for a little bit.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, fair enough.
Any closing remarks, Jordan, from your first victory?
I'm pretty happy with this result. I also like to point out, if I had won the previous round, I would have faced myself.
But that brings up the point. We get a rematch between arguers in the next round.
Yeah. I
Brand
think
new
the result was the correct one, though, and I'm happy with it.
This sounds like post sports event type things. Coach, how do you think you did today? I think we played well. I think we fought for this and we earned what we wanted, and they played a good game, but in the end, we actually won.
I mean, it fits. This is our March
I voted
Madness
for it.
bracket.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
just showed up late.
Oh, he's not. He's gonna let that
You're not
go.
gonna let this go, are you?
No, welcome to the club.
should have used his ocarina.
And
Now-
Ocarina.
Truly, I would argue that potentially the ocarina would have made a difference. Potentially.
I want to hear your explanation of how, because I was thinking about putting it in there, but I'm like, he's not going to have time to take this out, play a whole song, and take advantage of the magic before
She might have been
somebody fucks him
swoon.
up.
She might have been swimming.
There's that. But I would even argue that within Ocarina of Time, when he goes to play the ocarina, time freezes around him.
I'll-
Nothing attacks or moves while he's playing.
Okay, that's a good point.
He can also summon Epona with his
Yes.
ocarina.
He would have brought in his horse.
Would his horse have changed anybody's decision?
He would have had more speed and agility.
But he has to fight on the horseback, which he doesn't do.
Fighting on horseback is preferable to fighting on foot.
Yeah.
No, the bow and arrow, I guess.
If it makes you feel better, it wouldn't have changed my mind if you had a horse or not.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that.
In
one.
Ocarina
She
of
would have
Time.
walked over, ripped the horse in half.
Well, in Ocarina of Time, opponent is immortal. She doesn't die.
That's true.
Doesn't get hurt.
Is there anything that anybody thinks could have changed that much?
If there was a way, he could have gotten a bomb on her without her knowing it, without her moving around.
Yeah.
I would have.
I think
Distance.
the generation of Link could have done it if he had bomb arrows, like from oh my gosh, what is it? It was the Game Boy one before
Whoa.
Link to the Past.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. I can't think of
I know Oracle of Seasons had it as well, but it was it's not the one I'm talking about. But anyway, like that one, I think that would have swayed my opinion.
The bomb doesn't
So
kill her if it could have staggered, like a bomb arrow could stagger her a little more.
I mean,
Maybe,
I would
but I
argue-
still think Kassandra would.
Bomb Chew from Ocarina of Time could have worked because that is you put it down and it moves in a straight line.
yeah, but see,
It goes up walls and shit.
See, I was thinking about putting that in my loadout, but I'm like, it's a straight line. She's gonna be so
Yeah.
easily able to avoid it,
That'd be if you see it coming, just move around.
and it's not.
yeah, she can like free run and stuff. I feel like that's
She would have parkoured off the bomb and stabbed you in the eye.
Yeah.
That would have been impressive, except if she did touch the bomb,
Oh,
it would
man.
explode.
Stabs him in the eye. The explosion goes off behind her.
All right.
Perfect.
Anyway, thank you very much. Next round will be Darth Scion versus Sub-Zero. It's going to be interesting.
Come back or die.
Wait, what?
Andrew's gonna come to your house and kill you if you don't watch the next
We've got a
episode.
captivated audience.
If I can pull an old Andrew quote, that's just a life lesson. You come in my back door, I'm gonna come in yours.
Damn straight.
See you next time, guys.